Number 8. Faith Cox. Texas woman Faith Cox accused her boyfriend of assaulting her on September the 20th of 2017. She alleged that Christopher Procopia had entered her home and attacked her with a box cutter, leaving cuts on her face and chest. Fox claimed that he'd carved an X into her skin before fleeing the premises. Police took Procopia into custody on charges of first-degree felony burglary of a habitation with intent to commit additional felonies. He faced up to 99 years in prison for the alleged crimes. However, a police investigation uncovered that Procopia was entirely innocent. A selfie that he'd posted on Facebook around the same time that Cox claimed he'd assaulted her proved that he was 70 miles away from her home. An investigation into Procopia's text messages, cell phone tower pings, and witness reports confirmed his whereabouts and proved he hadn't been involved in the supposed attack. Moreover, police discovered that it was really Cox who'd inflicted the cuts on herself to frame Procopia. In light of the findings, law enforcement arrested and charged Cox with the misdemeanor of filing a false police report. She was ordered to pay a $2,000 fine and could have also been sentenced to up to 180 days in jail, but accepted a plea bargain, which reduced her sentence to a year of probation. Number 7. Nikki Yovino. Teenager Nikki Yovino accused 2 college football players of abusing her while she was at a house party in New York on October the 15th of 2016. She alleged that the 2 men grabbed and took her into the basement bathroom where they forced themselves upon her. Following the accusations, the players were both suspended from their football team and had their scholarships taken away. However, according to the police, 18-year-old Yovino's story was riddled with inconsistencies, and she eventually admitted that her accusations had been a lie. When interrogated, the men she'd named as her aggressors admitted to have had intimate relations with her, but maintained that it had been fully consensual. Witnesses at the party also claimed to have seen Yovino willingly enter the bathroom with them, and one attendee even audibly heard her say she wanted to sleep with both. After confessing, Yovino claimed she'd made up the story in a panic because she didn't want to ruin her relationship with another man with whom she was romantically involved. Yovino thought that her fabrication would cause her love interest to be compassionate towards her and angry at the 2 men instead. She was charged with second-degree, falsely reported an incident and tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, resulting in a sentence of 1 year in jail and 3 years of probation. Number 6. Gemma Beal. In August of 2017, a 25-year-old London woman was sent to jail for 10 years after making several false abuse allegations over the course of several years. Between 2010 and 2013, Gemma Beal claimed to have been abused by 15 different men in 4 different incidents. One of the men she'd accused in 2010 was Mahad Kasim, who was wrongfully sentenced to 7 years in jail. However, in July of 2015, his conviction was reversed and he was set free after investigators uncovered a suspicious pattern of accusations by Beal, all with similar inconsistencies that indicated that she'd fabricated the stories. The woman was dubbed a serial liar, her motive being to receive compensation from each case she filed. She maintained her innocence throughout the trial that followed, but was ultimately found guilty of perjury and perverting the course of justice and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Number 5. Emery Ellis. A homeless man was arrested in November of 2015 after a cashier at a Boston Burger King thought he'd tried to pay for a meal using a fake $10 bill. Emery Ellis, aged 37, was charged with forgery of a banknote, which resulted in a probation violation from a previous offense. Because of that aspect, Ellis was taken to jail, where he was held without bail. 3 months later, in February of 2016, the Secret Service found that the $10 bill was in fact real. Ellis was released from jail and prosecutors dropped the forgery charge. The man went on to sue Burger King for nearly $1 million, claiming that he was discriminated against solely for looking like a homeless person of color. The outcome of the lawsuit remained undecided, as of the latest updates on the matter. Number 4. Alexa Palabiki. 26-year-old Sacramento police officer Alexa Palabiki was accused of filing a false police report in May of 2021. The incident in question had been a traffic stop at a gas station where Palabiki alleged that she'd approached a driver for illegally parking. The officer searched the man's car on suspicion of a DUI, something she'd initially left out of her original report, but added at a later date after confiding in her fiancé, who was also a police officer. During the stop, Palabiki found what she'd claimed was an illegal substance, which really turned out to just be tobacco. An investigation carried out by Internal Affairs revealed that Palabiki hadn't had probable cause at all to stop the man. They also uncovered that she tried to come up with 6 different versions of the story with another officer to make up a reason for her to search the driver's car. An audit of her arrests and reports was conducted for 3 years' worth of cases, combing through interviews, body cam footage, and surveillance footage, as well as her phone records. Investigators highlighted at least 5 separate incidents of misconduct on Palabiki's part. She misrepresented or left out important facts about what happened during the incidents, in addition to reporting pursuits that never happened, failing to include suspect statements, and even earning overtime payment on days when she left work early. The driver's case was eventually dropped. Once the information came to light, Palabiki was fired from her job on November the 18th of 2021. And charged with 2 counts of falsifying police reports. If convicted, she could face up to 3 years in prison. Number 3. Kirsten Faith Snyder. On March the 24th of 2021, a South Carolina woman made a home invasion and assault report, which ultimately proved to be a fabrication. 22-year-old Kirsten Faith Snyder claimed that someone had cut her kitchen screen, broken into her house, and assaulted her. Deputies rushed to what they believed was a burglary in progress as Snyder was on the phone with the 911 operator, actively reporting on what was happening during the alleged incident. However, when officers arrived on the scene, Snyder told them that the intruder had fled through the kitchen window after she'd allegedly fought him off. During their investigation, the authorities were able to piece together that a break-in never happened and that Snyder had not been assaulted. The woman was later charged with filing a false police report of a felony and was arrested on a $10,000 personal recognizance bond. Today's topic was requested by Jorge Ramos. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Kaviana Zachariah Taylor. On May the 22nd of 2022, a Florida woman reported a crime that led to a SWAT raid at her boyfriend's home. 20-year-old Kaviana Zachariah Taylor told a 911 dispatcher that her boyfriend hit her in the face with a gun after a physical altercation had broken out between them while they were sitting in his car outside of his home. It had allegedly started when the man took Taylor's work ID badge and slapped her with it. She retaliated by punching him in the side of the head, which led to the fight inside the vehicle. Taylor then reportedly got on top of him with her knees in his chest, which is when he reportedly reached for his handgun. She eventually managed to kick him out of the car, got into her own vehicle, and called 911 before leaving. However, when officers questioned her about the incident, the woman said that her boyfriend hadn't actually hit her with the gun. Taylor claimed that her busted lip was a result of him punching her instead, which contradicted what she'd initially told the 911 dispatcher. Because of the nature of the call, the police department had sent the SWAT team, believing Taylor was in serious immediate danger. Her boyfriend was taken to the police department for questioning, and his handgun was confiscated as evidence. He told a completely different story, stating that Taylor had taken money from him and began to punch him when he tried to retrieve it. She'd also broken his car's window with a tire iron. The man even provided a text message sent by Taylor threatening to call the police and lie that he'd attacked her with a gun. With evidence backing up her boyfriend's story, Taylor was arrested and charged with simple battery, simple assault, providing false information to law enforcement, and making a false 911 call. She was held on a $10,000 bail and eventually admitted to have fabricated the story. Number 1. Louis Meyers and Brandon Burrows. In September of 2020, British woman Lorraine Cox was walking home when she was murdered by Azam Mangori, aged 24, in his apartment above a kebab shop. Mangori, who was just a tenant in the apartment and had no connection to the business below him, was found guilty of Cox's murder in April of 2021. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 20 years served. However, in the early stages of the investigation, two friends of Cox's in their mid-20s, Louis Meyers and Brandon Burrows, were convinced that the staff of the kebab shop were somehow involved in her murder. On October the 2nd of 2020, they ganged up on Naveed Rahimi, the shop's chef. In front of his home, they called him racial slurs and accused him of killing Cox before they physically assaulted him. Upon their arrest, Meyers and Burrows tried lying to the police by saying that they were elsewhere at the time of the incident. However, DNA evidence found on a drink can at the scene, the location on their phones, and eyewitness testimony from a passerby proved that they'd been responsible for the attack. Both men were found guilty of racially aggravated battery and were given sentences of 10 to 11 months in prison. Thanks for watching. Would you rather be falsely accused of not watching our videos until the end ? Or of stealing candy from a baby? Let us know in the comments section below.